gather around these moments and memories. And I invite you to repeat the words, Eile ezkera. Just those two words, they're not in the Machzor. These I remember, Eile ezkera. We remember the rabbinic martyrs, murdered by Roman decree, who kept teaching Torah on pain of death. Eile ezkera. We remember those slaughtered in crusades, refusing forced conversions. Eile ezkera. We remember the destruction of Spanish Jewry in the Inquisition, erasing a golden era of Jewish poetry and music and art, along with its citizens. Eile ezkera. We remember Jewish ancestors, murdered in Eastern Europe's pogroms and massacres of hatred and bigotry. Eile ezkera. We remember Jewish siblings who were killed in the inferno of the Holocaust, and the vibrant Jewish life and houses of study that were wiped out with them. Eile ezkera. We remember Israelis who were killed through acts of terror on buses, in cafes, on the roads, in their beds. Eile ezkera. We remember Jews targeted by hatred of today's anti-Semitism and white nationalism around the world. Those killed in Muncie, Germany, Paris, Pittsburgh, Poway. Eile ezkera. Around the world, we remember those who have died from the coronavirus, those held in the arms of family and those who died alone, those who were eased with medical care and those who had no access to ventilators or medical support. This is a grieving that encompasses the whole world. Eile ezkera. We remember brown and black siblings who are targeted by racist violence and police brutality, those for whom it was deemed suspicious and dangerous to go jogging, to rest in their own homes, to have a mental illness, to go shopping, to drive in a car, to breathe. We remember those who have been killed standing against racism and bigotry. We affirm that Black lives matter, and we remember. Eile ezkera. We remember the indigenous children of the residential school system, found in unmarked graves. We remember murdered Aboriginal women and girls. We remember the cultural deaths and physical brutality against indigenous, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Eile ezkera. We remember our Palestinian siblings killed at the hands of Jewish extremists and civilians killed in the conflict. Eile ezkera. We remember refugees around the world who died trying to cross seas and borders, fleeing violence and running toward the hope of a better life. Eile ezkera. We remember those who succumbed to ravaging diseases, those who died in poverty from curable, avoidable illness. Eile ezkera. We remember those killed in natural disasters of wildfires, droughts and floods, earthquakes and hurricanes. Eile ezkera. We remember those targeted for being gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. Eile ezkera. We remember those who were killed at the hands of partners or family members, mostly targeting women and children in the brutality of domestic violence. Eile ezkera. We remember those killed in war and violence in the Ukraine and around the world. Eile Ezkara. We remember the children who were killed by gun violence. In Uvalde, and in all the places where children's safety is threatened. Eile Ezra. Holy One of life, may we never be indifferent to the loss of life. May the loss of Jewish life teach us to become sensitive and responsive. May it teach us to treasure our people, to work to end anti-Semitism, and to heal the brokenness we inherit. Harachaman, compassionate one, may our eyes and hearts be responsive to the injustice and grief in the world. May we work to end all forms of hatred and violence. Min hametzar karatiya. From the frightened and walled-off places, we call to you. Anani b'merchavya. Please answer us in the expanse. Help us to write all of our lives in the book of life. For you are shalom, and your world is made for shalom. May their blessed memories be in time for peace. Let us say, Amen. Page 148. Gam ki elech begeit salmavet. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not be afraid, for you are with me.
Gam ki elech begei salmavet lo irara. Gam ki elech begei salmavet lo irara.
I want to invite Marilyn Wilcoxon to come up and share a poem.
When Great Trees Fall by Maya Angelou. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forest, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memories suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on the kind words unsaid, and promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound us to them, leaves us. Our souls, dependent upon their nature, now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, falls away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold caves. And when great souls die, after a period of peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces filled with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us. They existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed.
We have both the obligation and the gift to bear witness to those who have died. We carry them with us so we continue to be in relationship with them, so that we can hear them speak to us, so we can speak to them and pray for them. And what wasn't made whole in their lifetimes, we seek to heal in their deaths. Baruch Dayan Ha'emet. Blessed is the one who judges in truth. Blessed is the one who enables us to face the truth. Blessed is the oneness we come from, the oneness we return to, the oneness all life embraces, sensed in the next breath blossoming in our bodies. Blessed is the heart capable of breaking. Blessed the pain that only grows out of loving what will leave us. Blessed is the letting go. Blessed the gratitude, bowing at the open door, kissing the mezuzah at the threshold. Blessed is all that never dies and lives in us and through us and beyond us. Issa einai el heharim on page 120. I lift my eyes to the mountains.
Me'ayin shamayim ba'aretz, ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz, Esaenai eharim me'ayin yavo ezri.
Would the community please rise as you're able? I'm going to walk in front of each section, and as I look at you, it doesn't have to be one by one, but I invite you to share the names of the people you're remembering today. And those of you on Zoom, please write their names in the chat. The individual prayers are on pages 123 and 125. Let's gather in memories. Let's speak to our loved ones. Let's hold them in our hearts. The memorial prayer, El Maleh Rachamim, is on page 126. El Maleh Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hamtzeh Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei Hashchina, V'malot Kedoshim Utorim, Kezar Harakia Mazhirim. Et nishmot kol ele shizkanu hayom livracha. Ana balarachamim tastirem beseter knafecha leolamim. V'titzror b'tzror achayim et nishmotehem vayanuchu al mishkavotam v'shalom v'nomar amen. Spirit full of compassion, grant perfect rest under the wings of the Shekhinah to our beloved ones who have gone from this world. Source of mercy, may their souls be bound up in the bonds of eternal life. May their memories be for a blessing, and may they rest in peace. Amen. We turn to Mourner's Kaddish on page 147. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba ve'alma divra chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach La'alam ul'olmei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'ale v'yithalal shmei dekudsha b'richu le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. May their lives and may their memories be a blessing in your life. I encourage you to commit to do something in honor of their memories, to donate, to study, to engage in the land of the living, to honor their legacy. Beyado afkid ruchi. Into your hands I place my spirit, when I sleep and when I rise, and with my soul and with my body, the source of life is mine, and I shall not be afraid.
Beyado גוויתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא, ואמרחי גוויתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hands. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hands. Beyado of kibruchi, be'tishan ve'ha'ira, ve'imruchi geviyati, Adonai li velo ira, ve'imruchi geviyati, Adonai li velo ira.
Shana Tova, everyone. Please greet each other, offer gentleness and connection. Shana Tova.